Okay, I promise I'm not moaning. It was good. I really liked it. I just have some thoughts. This week we're pausing our adventure with the Doctor and Belinda to check up on Ruby Sunday, her new boyfriend, and a sharp-toothed menace called the Shreek. Not Shrek, like my partner read on the synopsis. This is the Shreek, this is Shrek. I hope that clears things up. Right, let's start with the positives. This is definitely Peter McTighe's best script for the show. His previous Doctor Who stories have never been my kind of thing, but in this he really gets the shine. The pacing is great, it's full of cracking one-liners, and he balances the different tones of the episode perfectly. The first half feels like a rom-com in the making, before switching to a political thriller, full of fake news, Instagram reels, and an insane man with a podcast. And of course, any good script needs a good cast, and the performances here are all great. We know Millie Gibson can lead the show from last year's 73 Yards, so again, her performance is natural and effortless. The supporting cast are all good too, from the unit team to the nutters in the pub. Everyone is on top form, which allows the audience to immerse themselves in the story without cringing at a dodgy line read. And speaking of story, it's all very solid. Less zany than Lux or sci-fi heavy like The Well, instead Lucky Day grounds itself back on Earth, telling a very human and real story about the current climate of social media, fake news, and how quickly people can be whipped up in a frenzy because a stranger tells them something they want to hear. I know some people will say it was heavy-handed or could have been more nuanced, but I don't agree. One, this is a 45-minute episode of Doctor Who. It only has so long to explore its themes and doesn't have the luxury of spreading its ideas across 6 hours of drama. And two, these things aren't nuanced. One quick look on Twitter will show you how easily people are riled up by the simplest of things, even before checking if it's true or not. Another highlight of the episode is Kate Bloody Stewart. Now, Kate Stewart is a character I've always wanted to love. Every time she turns up, I'm hoping this will be the time I understand why so many like her. And she's been good, fine in other stories, but nothing amazing. And honestly, kind of nothing that makes it obvious why 3 different showrunners have used her. I think it's because of the potential of the character more than the character herself. Because away from the guns, the suits, and everyone calling her mom, she's never really had much of a character or any traits for the audience to latch onto. She's good at her job, but so is the woman who works at my local Tesco, and personally, I don't want to watch a drama about her. But in this we get to see a new Leia, and I finally believe she is the one in command. There's a darkness in her, a brutalness. When her eyes glaze over in those final scenes, finally I understand why she commands so much respect. She is a soldier, and away from the Doctor's eyes, she acts like one, going so far that the staff around her don't know what to do. I hope we get to see more of this side of Kate, especially in the spin-off, which I'm hoping will continue to show the darker, seedier sides of UNIT. And now, let's move on to some of the negatives. Although negatives is a strong word. The things that had potential. The nitpicks. Although they aren't really even things against this single episode, but more issues that were in last series that unfortunately were always going to affect this episode as we're going back to its main companion. Starting with Ruby Sunday. Now, I like Ruby, don't get me wrong, but this is mainly due to Millie Gibson's performance. She is a charismatic actor. She's charming and brings an energy to the role that's effortless to watch. However, Ruby as an actual character isn't exactly the strongest. In season 1, the majority of her character was about finding her real mum and wanting to know why she was left on the church doorstep. And this is fine. There is nothing wrong with a mystery. However, strip that away, Ruby's kind of unexplored. I don't know what her dreams are, what her goals in life are, what makes her tick. Similar to Clara in Series 7, the mystery surrounding her became her. Yes, you can call her strong or brave, but that's most companions. However, with the others, we know their personality away from the adventures. Rose, for example, is young, jealous and naive, desperate to leave her normal day-to-day life. Martha is determined, caring, relentless. Donna is loud but incredibly insecure. Amy is a dreamer, scared of commitment. Clara is reckless, a thrill seeker. Dan loves a wok. He loves a wok. Personally, I would struggle to describe Ruby outside of her mystery, and for this reason I feel like the struggles she feels since leaving the Doctor just doesn't hit me, because it could have gone either way. She could have been absolutely fine and that would make sense of her character, or she could have been struggling like she is because that makes sense for her character, because it's kind of a blank slate, so the emotional weight of these moments don't affect me like they should have or could have. Now, Ruby is fantastic in this episode. The character work is great, don't get me wrong, but I do wish we saw a little more of this last year, so we could have built on it rather than having to explore it for the first time here. And I know that's controversial. People will definitely disagree with me, and that's fine. It's okay. I don't need friends. Please like and subscribe. My other nitpick is UNIT itself. Now, I think this episode handled UNIT really well, probably one of the best uses of it since this new era. However, I can't help notice we've now had 2 stories where a member of UNIT has turned out to be the bad guy, however we've never met them before in the show. Usually I would let this go, it wouldn't bother me, but these 2 seasons were filmed back to back, meaning you could have easily introduced the Inside Man last year at some point. Hell, make it one of the soldiers from the Star Beast. Just a little more continuity would go a long way with the world building. And one last thing, I wish we got more of the Shreek. Not a criticism, but a personal preference. I love me a monster, and this guy was great, so of course I'm going to want to see more of him. Okay, I'm so sorry, that was a lot more negative than I wanted it to sound. Let's do some quick fire positives, starting with Shirley, the one-liner queen. Let's have more of her, please. The flicks. I don't care what people say. Look at him, he's a robot, and I love him. The scene between Conrad and the Doctor. I said in my video before season 2 came out that I wanted to see a darker side of 15, and this hit perfectly. Him telling Conrad he'll die alone, God, that's a good scene. This scene, just look at it, magic. The midpoint twist, genuinely shocking. Didn't see it coming and worked perfectly in the story. Trinity Wells, the main star of Doctor Who. The fact viewers in America have been introduced to the One Show. That's hilarious to me. Conrad versus the Shreek. I love this scene and he plays it perfectly. The score, some wonderful pieces of music in this that will never be released because Murray hates me. And finally, the fact the episode managed to get me invested so quickly in Ruby and Conrad's relationship. Without this, the whole episode would have fallen apart, and this was handled brilliantly. Okay, I feel that has combated some of the negativity from earlier. I think more than any episode so far this season, I'm really interested in what others thought, so please comment below your opinions. I will read all of them and we can have a good chit chat in the comments. So far, nitpicks aside, this series has been brilliant, and if it continues this way, we really could be in for one of the greatest series of Doctor Who. Next week we've got a brand new writer to the show, and if the next time trailer is anything to go by, we could be really in for a treat.